Here now, North Dakota Republican Senator John Hoeven, Energy and Natural Resources Committee member as well. Senator, good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us. I'll start first by getting your reaction to this latest news. Obviously, we saw that production cut from OPEC Plus yesterday, and what the president and the administration are possibly mulling here to fix the problem at home. Gas prices are still high and poised to go higher. Your state is where Bakken Shale is extracted, the Bakken Shale region, a lot of oil and gas extracted from the ground. Your thoughts, what are your constituents saying?
Well, this is the result of the Biden energy policy, and we've been talking about it, for the last 2 years, and it needs to change, because instead of being not only energy self-sufficient, but actually energy dominant, we're now in a situation where we're back looking to OPEC Plus, which includes Russia, for oil, and it's just unbelievable. Now you see the administration even going to places like Venezuela or Iran to try to get oil. It makes absolutely no sense. And the solution is simple. It's exactly what we've said from day one. Take the handcuffs off our energy producers, and the American companies will get it done with the best environmental stewardship. And as we're seeing, it's not just about getting that price down at the pump, helping reduce inflation. It affects everything that, these energy prices affect everything people buy. It's a national security issue as well.
100%. But of course, the White House and the president have pointed the finger at big oil companies themselves, and essentially said that they are fixing the price of oil. And when it comes to refining and gasoline, that product at the station, that those prices are rigged as well, and there's price gouging going on. There's no acknowledgement of what the actual problem is.
Exactly. It's supply and demand. We were producing 13 million barrels a day in this country at the end of the Trump administration. And if the Biden administration hadn't put the handcuffs on our producers, we'd be up to 14 million barrels a day or more, such that OPEC, whether they cut or not, would not have been an issue for us. Now you've got a situation where the Biden administration is taking oil out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. They've reduced it from about 715 million barrels to about 350 million barrels, knocked it down about half by the end of October. And now you see OPEC really putting the squeeze on by reducing their production, 2 million barrels a day. And so that, again, is going to keep oil prices or push them higher. We're seeing about close to $4 a gallon at the pump right now.
And they're doing this all essentially to push a green, climate agenda, right? Something that the far left, the progressives, have urged the president that he must do. And he has dug his heels in. He's not really changing positions on this, Senator, and he's not untying the hands of the American producers. Having said that, with the issue of the SPR at half, and also the fact that we're at a 40-year low with our reserves there, I sit back and say to myself, what is he going to do? Is he going to try to replenish the oil that we've used at $90 a barrel? Certainly it's going to cost us more.
Right. Supposedly he was going to quit releasing oil from the Strategic Reserve. He was going to quit doing it. Now he can't. And now he's in a situation where he has to continue to reduce it. Like I say, we're at a 40-year low. That was set up for national emergencies. He has no choice but to continue to take it out now. And even that isn't going to keep oil prices from going up. So that's what I'm saying. He's put us at the mercy of OPEC or OPEC Plus, which includes Russia. And again, the only way to take care of this, to reverse it, is to get busy and produce energy here in this country.
Yeah.
And our companies can do it if you'll quit holding them up. He's got the handcuffs on him. He won't permit the projects. He won't let us produce on federal lands. He won't let us develop the infrastructure. All those things, even financing with the whole ESG thing. Mm-hmm. So again, those are the things that are holding up production in our country, which is the solution and which is what needs to happen. And that's what we've been pushing for from day one. And we're going to keep fighting for it.
And I just want to reiterate a point that you made, because I think it's important to our viewers, which is that as long as oil and gas prices stay high, inflation will stay high as well, because it impacts everything that you touch and bring into your home, not just moving your vehicle from point A to point B. So that's really important. To go back to what the president is trying to do with respect to green energy, or the progressives are pushing him to do, and he's acquiescing. Venezuela is one of the dirtiest oil producers in the globe. To say that we would take more oil from OPEC, from Saudi Arabia, that's even one thing. But the Venezuelans, when you're trying to push green energy?
Jackie, you're right on so many fronts. Look, nobody has better environmental stewardship than we do. So let's just get that out there right up front. And then you go to these countries that have worse environmental stewardship and they abuse human rights. So again, back to the national security issue. And the other point is really important. Look, the consumer, the American worker, all of us in this country are struggling with the price at the pump. But you're right, it's not just that price at the pump. It's the energy cost in every product and every service that you buy. And that's a big part of inflation. And again, it's just unbelievable that, this administration would continue down that path like you're talking about, instead of helping our companies get the job done for the Americans and for the American consumer, whether it's at the pump, in the grocery store, whether it's inflation, whether it's national security, jobs in the economy, you name it.
Yeah, I've covered oil and gas for a long time, Senator. I never thought I would see the day where the United States was the globe's top energy producer, and we were, and they handed it over. They handed it right back. A lot of people very angry about that. Senator Hoeven, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Jackie.